Hey, hi guys. Now I am discussing on economics, and the first question is about indifference curve. In the textbook, this is on page number 107 and 109. You can refer that. You can just take an idea on that. Do not copy paste. And yeah, so what you can do is you can Google search. Once you Google search, you will get lot of details. Search indifference curve, meaning and characteristics, or the meaning and features, meaning and properties. So you can search this codes in Google and you can get the details. Basically, then what you have to do is in the introduction part you define what is indifference curve, what is the definition of it, mention the definition. You can change the definition in your words. It is not a compulsion you have to copy the same definition which is mentioned in the book or in the Google. You can write it by your own, and they will not challenge you whether the definition is copied or not copied, or it is right or wrong. However, the meaning should remain the same. So you define what is indifference curve, write the meaning of it, and explain what is indifference curve. So this is basically, if you read the entire definition, you will understand that the indifference curve is basically a customer or a consumer is consuming two types of items, and there are various levels at which there are various combinations at which the same type of satisfaction is being received by the consumer. So I would say, for example, I have one banana and I have say 15 apples. Then I have two bananas and I have say 10 apples. So this is basically a combination of two items, and a different level of satisfaction at each combination. So this is how you have to explain this in the concept part. You have to draw the diagram. You can Google search. There are a lot of diagrams available. If you want to take, you can take it from the book also. Give example on this, on the two types of commodities that can be combinated for a particular type of satisfaction. Then explain in graphical terms, explain the graph, and then you mention about the properties of indifference curve. So if we see, there are four properties of indifference curve. The first one is indifference curve are always convex to the origin. Second is indifference curve slopes downwards. Higher indifference curve represents higher level of satisfaction, and indifference curve can never intersect each other. So these are the four properties which you have to mention. You did not mention any other thing, assumptions of indifference curve. You did not mention this. And then in the conclusion part, you can mention what are the advantages of indifference curve. Do not write point to point advantages, but yeah, you can say add a few statements of advantages, that how does the indifference curve help an economist to identify that in case there are two commodities, how much the consumer is ready to sacrifice the quantity of the commodity in order to get the satisfaction by utilizing the other commodity. So yes, this is how we complete the first question. It's a bit tricky, it's a bit confusing. People do not achieve 1,000 words, but the easier way of achieving 1,000 words is 200 words introduction. If not 200, 150 at least. uh, Definitely 600 words of the explanation in the concept part, and then again 150 words in the conclusion part. Easily you can achieve 900 along with the example, and along with explanation of the graph. So yes, this is how we complete the first question. Moving to second question, it's a calculation based question. What you have to do is you have to calculate price elasticity of demand. In the introduction part, first define what is price elasticity, different types of price elasticity, and then you calculate. So the formula for calculating the price elasticity of demand is change in quantity divide by change in price into price divide by quantity. So basically in the question, your 4 rupees becomes price 1, 5 rupees becomes price 2, 25 becomes quantity 1, and 20 becomes the quantity 2. So to find the difference of change in quantity and change in price, you have to subtract the Q2 by Q1. So basically for quantity it will be 20 minus 25, and for price it will be 5 minus 1. And for price elasticity, the calculation will be minus 5 divided by 1 into 4 by 25. Now which is the actual price, which was the original price. So the value comes to 0.8. This is the price elasticity answer, 0.8 minus 0.8. What you can also do is explain the price elasticity of demand along with its interrogation. I will not say introduction, sorry, interrogation. I would say interpretation, sorry. So interpretation of price elasticity of demand, suppose if the value is say 1, value is 0, value is minus 0.8. So you can explain this. This is already available on net, and in the book this is available on page number 132. So yes, you can mention these things into your answer, and then you can conclude by informing, by writing about referring to the question that as the price increases, the demand falls. So you can definitely interpret your answer, and you can write, because it is minus 0.8. uh, the demand is a bit sensitive to the price, because as the price has increased, the demand has fallen. So this is how you complete the second question. Moving to third question. The third question is about cross price elasticity of demand. So already the cross price elasticity of given of two commodities is given, which is 1.2. The first part is, would you describe the goods as substitute or complementary? So here, because the cross price elasticity of demand is positive 1.2, I would say the product is substitute to each other. So basically what you do is, first search cross price elasticity of demand. So define what is cross price elasticity of demand. Basically you can write that it is a measure of the responsiveness in the change in the quantity that is demanded of one good if the price of the other good changes. So and that is basically how it affects. So for example, if I can say that for the price, if a consumer is say consuming coffee, or if the coffee is well in demand and the price of the coffee increases, then people will start switching over to some other substitutes, that might be tea, or say lemon tea, or say or any other beverage. So this is basically a type of substitute good. The complementary good is, in case if there are a lot of coffee drinkers in the place, and if the price of the coffee increases, then the coffee stirrer, or I would say the coffee mugs, the demand for these products would decrease. Why? Because people will stop drinking coffee. So this is how you explain supplementary and complementary goods, and substitute and complementary goods. And basically here, because there is a positive sign, that a positive figure, that is plus 1.2, it's a substitute good. So basically the good is substitute, and for one product you can also buy the other product. So this is the first part. Moving to second part. Here there is a type of calculation that if the price of the good increases by 5%, what will happen to the demand of the other product, of the other good, holding the other factors into constant. So here you just have to do a calculation, and because the figure for this is 1.2, you multiply it by 5%, you will get a figure which would be positive. So it can be said that the demand for the other product will rise if there is because of the positive cross elasticity of demand. And so basically if there is a change of percentage of 5, then the quantity that is demanded increases by 6 units. So yes, the change in price leads to the change in quantity. So this is how you complete 3A. In case of this is a bit confusing and tricky question, but it's easy. If you understand the concept, it's easy. You basically write the formula and calculate it, you will get the answer. Now moving to 3b. The 3b is about calculation, marginal utility and average utility. So for this, first use a Excel. If not Excel, definitely you can apply your formulas of marginal utility and average utility. So basically, in the introduction part, you define what is marginal utility and average utility. In the concept part, you can calculate the marginal utility and average utility, and then in the end you define the entire table. The first column would include quantity consumed, then there is total utility, then there is marginal utility, and then the last is average utility. So what I will do is I will just go through, I'll just take you through the entire answer which is there. So the marginal utility formula is change in total utility divided by change in number of units that are consumed. So for the first quantity where total utility is 20, you will have to calculate it, and my calculation comes to 20 minus 0. Why? Because there is no change in the utility. Divide by 1 minus 0. Why? Because the first quantity itself has been demanded, and before that there was 0 quantity. So over here the marginal utility is 20. Moving to the second one, it is 35 minus 20. So that is the total utility 2 minus total utility 1. 35 minus 20, and divide by price 2 minus price 1, that is 2 minus 1. So this comes to 15. Then post that you will have to do it for each and every quantity that has been demanded. So marginal utility value comes to 20, 15, 12, 8 and 5. For average utility, you have to divide total utility by the total quantity. So for the first it is 20 divided by 1, for second it is 35 divided by 2, for third it is 47 divided by 3, for fourth it is 55 divided by 4, and the last is 60 divided by 5, and the values come to say 20, 17.50, 15.67, 13.75 and 12. So this is how you create the entire table. You provide the calculation, and then in the conclusion part you can write about the usage of marginal utility and average utility. There's not much to write on this. Why? Because this is a calculation question, and there is less data which is available in the book. I believe the average utility is not even mentioned. So I would just say the page number. This is on page number 99, and for 3a it is on page number 157. I might have missed in between, so I'll just read out the page numbers. For question 1, it is page number 107 and 109. For question 2, it is page number 132. For question 3, it is page number 157, and for question 3b, it is page number 99, which only has total utility and marginal utility. For the average utility, you'll have to Google search. You will get the details. So yeah, this is how you complete the entire economics question. Do not refer the if you're referring the books, it's fine, but do not copy paste anything. If you have any doubts, my number is already there on all the videos. Also, my group is also available, where I have posted all these pages for each and every subject. You can join the group. Buzz me. I will add you to the group. And yes, best of luck and complete the economics assignment. Thank you.